welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. So I caught a bit of the news where they were talking about Boris Johnson's address to the Conservative Party conference, and he made some claim about £3,000 premium to teachers to try and level up, and it was to do with levelling up the country. I guess that means levelling up so that every part is like London, which is, well, that seems a long way off, especially the outskirts. I mean, the difference is obvious, but the thing is with this education thing is because they want to make education, I think it was maths and science, they want to make education so that every child gets the same level of education. I assume that's what they meant by levelling up. But if you want to do that, I would have thought you'd need to get rid of the private schools, because that's part of the problem, isn't it? Because for the best education of children, you need the best teachers. Also, you need best resources and everything else, and equipment and stuff. But the best teachers is the most important part. So if you've got private schools who are offering you more money, and you're, a graduate training teacher, and you're the best in your field, you can get a job at a public school. I don't know how much they pay. Say they pay 20,000, and then in a private school they pay 35,000. Let's say, because of the way that we are indoctrinated into the obsession and the gaining of possessions and money, without even knowing that, most of us would go for what we'd get more out of, wouldn't they? And everyone's listening to say, yeah, obviously. But what you're actually displaying is your need for money, or greed for money. But of course, then that means that the public schools won't get the best teachers, that all the private schools will get the best teachers. Ergo, when you look at the results of schools, it's the private schools that have the best. So if you want a fair education where every child gets the same education, and why wouldn't you want that? Why would you create a system that allows for the opposite of that? Because that's what private and public schools do. There should be just one schooling system, and it can be co-funded, I guess. But I suppose the problem is, if you allow private entities in, then there's always a conflict of interest. But as long as they just gave money and no other influence, but then again, that never happens, because there's always some influence when money is involved. But yes, if you had just one set of schools and all the teachers, that means you could make sure that you don't, because I think what happens with public schools is they then have a very limited choice of teachers, and they have to employ anyone who can teach. And therefore, I think sometimes, I've been a child myself, not all of the teachers are really that good at the job, and maybe shouldn't be there. I mean, that goes for every job. There's lots of people that shouldn't be working in companies that just don't work. But yeah, I don't think it's another one of these, like, it looks like there's something being done, but it's not. It's like a band-aid solution, which tends to be the answer to governments and pharmaceutical companies. That's always just fix the surface, not fix the roots, not actually never touch the system, never change the system. The system's perfect. Let's just, like a broken wall, put a bit of plastering on top of it, it'll be fine. Not if the wall's going to fall down, it's not structurally safe. That's the system. The system doesn't work. This isn't going to make any difference. Yeah, it'll make a small bit of difference, but it's not what every child deserves. Every child deserves the best teacher, the best equipment, the best everything. And there's nothing stopping us from doing that, as I say often, other than our own limited imagination of living within the system that's 1,000 years old and adhering to only that. And that brings me to the next thing with the malaria. This new WHO announced this new malaria treatment by Glaxo, mainly I think for children, because they already do have some tablet medications, isn't it? But I don't know if they can take them long term. But I guess this is mainly aimed at children who can't take those tablets. And it's just another case of the surface. It's a money-making exercise in the sense that it's going to make money. It's not going to solve the problem. I mean, the problem can be solved. The problem was solved, no? Because in South Africa, how did they eradicate malaria? Wasn't it through spraying campaigns, financing the country? Because my understanding of malaria is it's to do with the mosquito, that the water, the dirty water, those areas that are not sanitized, helps the breeding of the disease that the mosquito carries. If that's not right, that's my understanding. So the solution isn't creating a toxin that you inject in everyone, and some company makes loads of money and makes other countries poorer because they have to give all their citizens this. The answer is, let's rebuild up all the countries, get rid of all these dirty water, get proper sanitation for the whole of Africa. Yes, I know this is a long-term thing, I know this is a lot of money, but it's going to save lives, and it's actually the most sensible thing. Because in Europe, in it was the UK, according to Wikipedia, these deadly mosquitoes were eradicated in the 70s through different means. Why can't those means be used in different countries in Africa? A way to get rid of it completely. Why is that so alien to everyone? Why is it so alien to journalists to think about that question? You know, why? Because all they're doing is just broadcasting Glaxo and saying, yes, this is brilliant. Everyone's jumping up and down. Yes, there's a malaria vaccine. We can all take it when we go travel. Oh yeah, but what about the actual people who are suffering? Because if you solved the infrastructure of these poor countries, it's not just one thing. Yes, you'll say that's a lot of money and a lot of time, but how long did it take the UK or South Africa to get rid of their malaria problem? But this is more. If you put that money, that 100 years of research has gone into this vaccine, if you put all that money into building up these countries, and also different aid programs, rather than I don't know where all that money goes. Everyone's giving contributions, governments giving contributions to charities. How many charities around the world? Thousands, tens of thousands of charities, all this money. If we leveled up the whole of the planet that we found ourselves upon, to the extent that everyone's like New York or everyone's like London or whichever is the best model, so that everyone has streets, everyone has safe water, everyone has food and all this warmth and all these things, these mosquitoes won't get these diseases. They'll be just like our normal mosquitoes. That's my understanding. And then you're not only solving that problem, you're solving lots of problems. You're solving problems of crime and corruption. You're solving problems of people dying early and dying of diseases that come through this pollution, through this not being levelled up, on a place that's freely been given to us with everything for all of us, not just some of us, not just the bits that have been divided up for each of us, for all of us. But no one's ever going to say that. No one on mainstream anyway. Not yet. Take care, take it easy. God bless and peace.